Earlier this week, the Federal Reserve increased the discount rate by a quarter point. What is the discount rate, and what does it mean that they increased it? That's today's question on The Economist's Militia. On February 18, the Fed increased the discount rate by 0.25% to 0.75%. That hit the markets like a lead weight, driving stock prices down. Why? The Federal Reserve is the country's central bank. They offer short-term, often one-day or intra-night loans to national banks to fund ongoing operations of that bank. What they charge as the interest rate for these short-term loans is called the discount rate. This is a bit higher than the other rate, the federal funds target rate, which the Fed also controls. So, why does a change in their rate affect almost everyone in the country? Virtually every bank uses the discount rate and the Fed funds target rate as the base for their own interest rates. When the Fed charges more for money, U.S. banks charge more for credit cards, mortgage payments, car loans, and business loans. The Fed raises interest rates to slow growth, which slows down inflation. Why, on February 18 in the year of our Lord 2010, did the Federal Reserve think that slowing growth was a good idea? I have no good answers for you. It makes not a whit of sense to me. The discount rate is what the Fed charges to make the loan. The Fed funds target rate is what the Fed suggests banks use when they loan money to one another, which they're really not doing. So, why aren't banks loaning money to one another? For much the same reason they're not loaning money to you, to me, to anybody. Fear. Unlike us, though, banks have another option. They can borrow from the Federal Reserve directly. That means the Fed has been making tons of interest from these discount rate loans, and upping their interest rate to push banks to loan money to one another again will have one of two outcomes. One, the banks will flail like kids learning to swim. Or two, the banks will keep borrowing from the Fed at the higher rate, making the Fed more money. This seems like a hell of a time to have a sink-or-swim strategy. Tell truth to power. Hear the real story. Think for yourself. Join the conversation at econmilitia.com. Take back your inalienable rights.